Welcome to day 18. We're going to get started with some more leg stretches, particularly working on the quads and the opening of the hips and the hip flexors to release the psoas and get more into the belly and work on that front body connection. This is Jen Healy. These are the AYRx yoga swings for the Aerial Yoga Play program. And we're going to start with the swing behind our back. We're going to go ahead and get into a sumo squat. Swing rests nice and low so that it'll sit behind the heart when we slide in here. Arms are engaged and our hips are nice and heavy. We're going to use the leg loops, wrapping our arms around. Always hug the swing. Let's put these behind the knees. So remember to use our core to pick the foot up and bring that behind the ankle and slide it up to the knee. There we go. So we're going to float for second side. Use your core, pick the foot up, get it behind the knee. All right, now when we're here, this is called Chillaxin pose. We've done this a few times now. We're going to gently swagger from side to side. Okay, if you feel like you want to bring the leg loops down to make it a little bit easier, you're welcome to. When they're a little bit higher, you get a deeper stretch. So we're going to come to center, inhale, open the arms, and then we're going to grab for the leg loops with our hands nice and high. So reach for your knees to make sure that you're holding onto the leg loops, not the actual swing behind your back, but the ones that are on your legs. And reach up as high as you can. Okay, we first just have to do a little warm-up lap, so we're going to do a floating child's. Take a breath here and fully exhale. Inhale, do a bicep curl and open up. This is going to be a big hip opener. You're really going to feel this stretch through your inner thighs. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, open and lift. Try to lift with your chest. Make sure your head stays in line with your body. Really important to keep that heart-centered reality. Okay, and then the spine can stay nice and long. When you're ready, push your chest a little bit more forward and then exhale, come on back in, dive in. This time when we pick ourselves up, we're going to shift to the right. So bend the right knee, roll onto the top of the left thigh. Now it's going to take a little bit to square the hips because the hip is going to point down towards the ground to get to the lunge. Okay, I call these lounging poses because you really want to sink in and lounge into it, and it's going to be intense and in that hip flexor and into the quad. And if you want, you can actually push that leg loop away to get a deeper stretch. I call that bow and arrow. So just hold that for a breath. Exhale, release back. Just keep holding on the whole time. I call it a roundabout. We're going to go right into second side. Keep the left knee bent and roll onto the top of the right thigh. Make sure the hip is pointing down towards the ground. This is key, squaring the hips towards the ground. That's going to really open up the top of the leg. Go ahead, thumb is pointing up, push that leg loop away to get a deeper stretch through the shoulder. Drop in, see if you can relax into it. Right? Let the swing hold you. Let the leg loops guide the hips open. Beautiful, one more deep breath and then exhale, release. Let's go back to the first side, bending the right knee, roll onto the top of the left thigh. It's above the knee. Now on this one, here comes the quad part. You're going to bend the left knee and grab for the foot. This is called dancing shiva. When you grab for the foot, the thumb is up still. You're holding onto the inner edge where the ball of the foot is. Now this might be as far as you go and you can keep the arm straight and that's no problem. If you can bend the elbow, you're going to get a deeper stretch by pulling in. The top of the foot is hooked in the elbow crease. And then you can try and balance for the full dancing shiva. Relax your hips down towards the ground. It's going to be really intense. Just see if you can get a little bit more space, a little bit more stretch in there. Okay, you're spring loaded, so exhale nice and slow. Let's go ahead and do our roundabout. And since that is a really, really big stretch, let's take a little pause and chillax in the middle and do a little swagger from side to side. Whew. It's always good to recalibrate the spine and integrate what just happened, and then we can come right back into it. Come through center, inhale, open the arms, exhale, reach forward. Make sure you're holding on to the leg loops. Pull yourself up, right? So this is the first stretch. The transition is a stretch in itself. Keep the left knee bent, roll onto the top of the right thigh. So the leg loop's above the knee, and then your hip is pointing down. Now from that position, when you bend the knee, you can grab for the foot. My thumb is pointing up, I'm grabbing for the inner edge where the ball of the foot is, the big toe side. Okay, if you keep your arms straight, that's 100% okay. Deeper stretch is bending the knee and getting the foot in the elbow crease. Now from here, you can try and balance. Now to balance, you really have to drop down to find the stretch. So this is the full dancing Shiva. Keep the chest lifted and the heart and the head open and in a line with the hips and with the spine. Nice deep breaths. Beautiful. Remember your spring roll loaded. Release nice and slow. Relax and chillaxin. Go ahead and use a little bit of swagger in the swing to open up. Hips heavy, nice and low, heart open, head back. Just since we've done chillaxin a few times, I'll go through that a little faster. Now there's a couple other advanced variations I'm going to show you. Just go ahead and repeat what we just learned if that was enough of a quad stretch for today. We're going to come to center, inhale, open up the arms, exhale, reach forward for the leg loops. Go ahead and pull yourself up and shift onto the top of the left thigh. Okay, right knee stays bent. This is called bow and arrow again. So we're going to bend the knee, grab for the foot. Okay, just stay here if that's enough. If you can actually get the foot in the elbow crease, you're going to straighten the front leg. If you can straighten the front leg, you can consider reaching for the toes. They might seem really far, so you're going to have to really reach for Hanuman. This is a huge stretch. So if that's too far, go ahead and try and push the front leg loop away and just get the stretch, either bent knee or straight leg for a variation of bow and arrow. Okay? Release nice and slow. Take a pause here. The idea is we let the quads open, the inner thighs open, the psoas open, the hip flexors open, and the belly open by holding the pose. So feel free to repeat these a few times if you need to. Let's inhale, open the arms. Exhale, reach forward. Shift onto the top of the right thigh. Bend the knee. Reach back and grab the foot. Okay, pull the foot in. Get the hook. Get the hook if you can. Otherwise, straight arm is 100% okay. So bow and arrow is straightening the front leg, straightening the front arm. Feel like you're about to shoot an arrow. Or go ahead and bend the knee. Sorry, go ahead and straighten the leg, reach for the toes, and come into Hanuman. So again, it's a big stretch to come into the splits here, and we're opening up the back of the leg. So we're focusing on the quad in the back here, and then in the front, we're focusing on opening up the hamstring. Maybe you just reach for the calf, or maybe you can get down to the ankle. Wherever you are is 100% okay. Or if you want to try it with straight legs, you can try both arms, which is really hard, but it's really fun to try, right? So you can change sides. Try straightening both arms. Really fun, but really hard to get the full extension. Okay guys, that was so fun. Really great to play with you. Thank you for following along. This is Jen Healy, aerialyogaplay.com. We'll give you more information about our upcoming workshops and trainings, and we might be able to come and visit your area if you let me know and feel inspired to share with me some ideas about a studio or a training center. Totally open to hearing from you. Please do continue to leave your comments below. Really fun. Been enjoying the 30-day swing challenge. Blessings. Namaste.